Good afternoon, everybody. This is Miss Xiao here. Welcome to today's lesson. I will be covering a question with regards to algebra and algebraic manipulation. Now, this is the second installment of a series of 4 lessons on this topic in November. Get ready some stationery, calculator, and some paper to work this question out. While you're working out the question, perhaps you could pause this video so that you could have all the workings and all the answers out. And thereafter, continue playing the video so that you can hear my explanation as we go through the entire question. All right, I'm going to move on to the next page, whereby we will look through each and every step of the question. Now, Mr. Tan bought X sacks of rice for a total of $1,280. So write down the cost price of each sack of rice in terms of X. So what happens over here is that X sacks of rice has a total cost of $1,280. And for A, they want you to find the cost of each sack of rice. So each meaning, so one sack of rice would mean to take $1,280 divided by X, because X, that is the cost for X sacks of rice. So the answer for A will be this. Now we'll move on to the next question. He retained 2 sacks of rice for his own consumption and sold the remaining sacks at $3 above their cost price. Express the selling price of each sack of rice in terms of X. So let's see, out of all the rice that he has, he took some for himself, and that will be 2 sacks. So if we were to draw something like a number bond, okay, in total, the number of sacks of rice will be X. Okay, he kept some for himself, that will be 2. That goes under self, and the rest will be sold. So given that the total is X, the amount that is sold will be X minus 2. Okay, now this is the remaining sack of rice, and each sack of rice is sold at $3 above the cost price. Okay, so if the cost price is what we have found in 4A, that is $1,280 over X, that means the selling price, but the question says $3 above the cost price, that means it's $1,280 over X dollars plus 3, and I need to put a bracket here. Okay, so this is the selling price of 1 sack of rice. Now we'll move on to C. For C, part 1. After accounting for the retained sacks of rice, Mr. Tan still earns $202 from all the sacks of rice that were sold. Show that an equation in X is 3x squared minus 208x minus 2,560 equals to 0. Let's see, how can we bring in $202 from the question and put it into an equation such that we could form the equation that they want us to show. $202 is the earning that Mr. Tan gets. So how much would he earn from all the rice that he actually sells? So the earning would be actually the number of sacks of rice, which is X minus 2, multiplied by the cost of 1 sack of rice. And from there, we subtract the amount of money he actually paid to buy the rice, minus 1,280. And this will give him his earnings. Okay, in this case, when the question mentions that he earns $202, this is considered as profit. Okay, now, so from here, let's try and see that after we expand out this equation and when we simplify, do we end up with the equation that the question wants us to show? How do we expand this out? Now what we could do is, if you were to look at the second part over here of the expression, perhaps what we could do is we can combine them into a single fraction. So that's what I'm going to do next. Okay, so I'm going to leave my x minus 2 as it is, and then the terms in the second bracket, I'm going to combine them. So I get 1,280 plus 3x over x minus 1,280 equals to 202. Okay, now next, I am going to expand the left-hand side. So by expanding the left-hand side, I multiply x to all these terms here, and I multiply 2 into all these terms over here. Okay. All right, so maybe to make it a little clearer, it will look something like that. Yeah. Okay, and I'm going to bring negative 1280 over to the right-hand side. So that will give me 1482. Okay, now at this point, what I could do is cross multiplication. I'll multiply. And on the left-hand side, I will have x minus 2, 1280 plus 3x. Right-hand side, 1482x. Okay, and at this point, what I could do is to simplify the left-hand side. Okay, now let's rearrange the terms. Okay, and I'm going to simplify. And for x term, I will get minus 256. Okay, and we actually end up with what the question wants us to show. That will be for C, part 1. Now, C, part 2, solve the equation. So from whatever that we have gathered so far, this is the equation. If we were to factorize, you realize that we are able to do so. That's using the cross method. And hence, x is equals to 80 minus 10 2/3. Okay, at this point, we do not reject any answer yet because the question didn't ask us to solve within the context of the cost of the sack of rice or any other thing yet. Okay, that will leave to part D. So for part D, that's where we need to decide which value of X to make use as the answer. Hence, find the cost price and selling price of each sack of rice. Okay, so let's see. When X is equal to 80, what's the cost price? The cost price will be 1,280 divided by 80, right? Over X. And where do we get this piece of information from? Right from over here. Okay, so this gives us the answer for cost price. Okay, and after dividing, we will be able to get the answer $16. How about selling price? Since it's $3 more, okay, where do we get this piece of information from? This. Okay. So I'm going to draw another arrow up. So basically we take 16 and we add 3 to it to have the selling price. So 16 plus $3, and that gives us $19 as the selling price. Do we make use of X equals to minus 10 and 2/3? No, it is rejected. Right? Why is it rejected? Because if we were to substitute X equals to minus 10 and 2/3 into the two equations that are circled in red, the two expressions that are circled in red, you realize that we'll end up with a price that is negative, and this doesn't happen in reality. So therefore, we reject this value of X. Yeah. So this concludes the answers for this question. I hope that you have found the explanations understandable and you're more confident of approaching this topic now. This question is taken from Discovering Mathematics 3 by Chao Wai Kiong and Yong Fuk Ming under Star Publishing Private Limited. And if you would like to know more about the other things that I do during my lesson, feel free to check out my blog, learnwithmissiao.wordpress.com, or check out my Facebook page. And alternatively, you can subscribe to my YouTube resource channel, whereby every week I will post something that is covering a particular topic that we can delve deeper into. And I hope that you have found this session enriching. Thank you very much for your time. Hope to see you again.